Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drux Milan Unboxing. It's early morning here at Emperor's Palace. I'm sitting in my hotel room. And of course, tonight we have a big Golden Gloves card on Super Sport, headlined by Kevin Lerena against Marius Vach. And before we get to that, let's just look at the card in general. There's some interesting prospects. Bevan Sibanda, a strawweight from Zimbabwe. We're going to see him again. The opponent was overweight at the weigh-in. I don't know if he ran it off, but I suspect it's going to be a catchweight bout. And last time he looked good, but he didn't have too much in front of him. So let's see how he will go against better opposition. Then we have Keanu Koopman at welterweight. He's having his second bout, and he is the brother of Shavonte Koopman, the South African junior middleweight champion. If he's anything like his boot, Keanu is somebody to watch. And we've got Ricardo Malajika returning against Arnel Lubisi. He has beaten Lubisi before in the first round, so for me, I just see it as a fight to get him back in the win column. Lubisi was quite feisty at away and tried to headbutt Ricardo, so maybe it will be fun while it lasts. I don't know, or maybe Lubisi is trying to psych himself up. We'll see. And then we've got another fight in the should be fun while it lasts category. Keaton Gomes against Danny Ngokwe at heavyweight or bridgerweight, depending whether you recognize bridgerweight or not. And then the main supporting bout is the one that I think us hardcore boxing fans would really be especially interested in, because it's a pick'em fight. We've got the guy with the coolest nickname in South African boxing, the Atomic Spider, Chifiwa Munyai, defending his South African lightweight crown against Lusanda Komanisi. Now it's a classic Limpopo Eastern Cape rivalry. You guys don't like each other any much. Now Chifiwa Munyai is 37 years old. You gotta wonder when the night will come when the wheels come off. But who knows? He is experienced. He's got a record of 35-6-1 with 20 knockouts. He's one of the most experienced current fighters in South Africa. He's one of the veterans. Now, if some of us will remember, years back he went to the UK. He was the foreign fighter of the year in the UK, won the Commonwealth title, defended it a couple of times, beat a future world champion in Lee Haskins, came back here, and he's had his ups and downs. But as of late, he's been on a 7-fight win streak, picked up the South African lightweight title against Sipuseto Mvula, and he's defended it a couple of times as well. Now, like the nickname says, the Atomic Spider, he's a tall, lanky sort of fighter. He's got 20 knockouts in his 35 wins, so he can crack a bit too. And he's more of a boxer of it too. Now, Lusanda Komanisi, his professional record is... I believe 26 and 6, and he's got 22 knockouts. So he's a puncher. He can punch. He's more of a fighter. He's changed his nickname from a Mexican to schoolboy. So maybe he's trying to box more, and he's also running a small little win streak. And he's the guy who can crack. But both these guys have also been knocked out. You know, so neither one has the greatest chin, and both can hit, especially Komanisi. So it really is a pick-em fight. The people that I've asked at the weigh-in, they sort of split down the middle. I think over the last couple of fights, Munyai has had the better opponents. His opponents, I think, were a bit better than those of Komanisi. So you know how I am about quality of opposition. So I'm going to pick Chifiwa Munyai to survive yet again and win a competitive, close-ish points decision over Lusanda Komanisi. But a knockout either way can also happen. Somebody knocks somebody with one punch knockout. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Now we get to the main event. Kevin Lerena continues his heavyweight campaign. And he's facing Marius Vach of Poland. Now, Vach towers over Lerena. I think he's about 6'9" or something. He's a huge guy. And Marius Vach is a former world title challenger. Way back in the day, he challenged Vladimir Klitschko for the world title. I remember that fight well. I think there was a moment, if I can recall correctly, where he did tag Klitschko and he looked to wobble him. but he ended up losing widely on points. But he went the distance. Not too many people went the distance at that stage with Klitschko. He also fought Alexander Povetkin. He was very competitive in the loss there. Made him work hard for it. And since then, he's been a kind of an in and outer at this stage. I would say probably more of a journeyman. He's lost his last fight. He got stopped, and I think it was about 6 rounds against top prospect Aslanbek Makhmudov. Until then, he was in it. He was sort of competing with Makhmudov, not winning, but he was holding his own, and then Makhmudov trapped him in the corner and just smashed him to the canvas. Before that, he scored a win against everybody's favourite journeyman, Kevin Johnson. Now, Vach is a sort of guy that uses his height and reach. Why would he not? And he's a jabber. He keeps jabbing. What I'm not so fond of, he doesn't sit down on his jab. It's not a punishing, smashing jab. It's more of a range fighter, keeping the guy's eyes busy. He uses sort of a probing jab like that. He tries and lines him up for his right hand. Sometimes if a guy charges in, he'll try one of his angled uppercuts. And now and then he also has a sort of a funny left hook that he sort of just turns in the short motion from the jab. And those are the things that Kevin Lerena is going to have to watch out for. It only takes one punch in the heavyweights, so Kevin mustn't go and do something stupid, because I think it's fairly obvious what Marius Vach is going to try and do. He's going to line the southpaw Lerena up for his right hand. I don't see any other way for Vach. He's not going to outbox and outwork Kevin. I mean, even Kevin Johnson in the fight that Vach won the decision had some moments against Marius Vach. So is Marius Vach, sees a lot of talk on social media, is Marius Vach just coming here to have a holiday and get a payday? Is he just going to look for that soft spot in the canvas to land once he takes a few punches? I've seen him around at the weigh-in. He's been here at Emperor's Palace well beforehand. So they came here to do the acclimatization process. His wife, his girlfriend is here with him, but he's got the full team of people with him, you know. And when guys are coming just for payday, they're not going to spend too much money. They tend to come with 1 or 2 people and just hire somebody on the night to assist in the corner. And he's coming with a whole professional team with him. He's coming well in time. So we'll only know in the night, but I suspect Marius Vach is looking at Kevin Lerena and he thinks, this little guy, you know, I can beat him. It might be an easy fight and I'm back to more paydays. So I think he's going to roll the dice and he's going to try his luck here against Kevin. Will it make a difference? No, I don't think so. Vach is way too slow. He's way too predictable. I was never a huge fan, even in his prime. He was predictable to me. He was slow to me. He's now more so, and I just don't think he's got it to trouble Kevin. I think Kevin's going to box rings around him. I think Kevin's going to be much too fast for Marius Vach, and I think he is going to. He's going to stop Vach in 4 rounds. That's my prediction, and he's going to look like $1 million doing it. Now, the big elephant in the room. A lot of people is saying, when is Kevin Lerena going to fight a better class of heavyweight? When is he going to fight a big name? And I've had that conversation several times with the promoter, Rodney Berman. And, you know, here's the thing. I'm at the weigh-in, yeah. There's a lot of people at the weigh-in. I've been to a lot of weigh-ins in my life, and there's a buzz going on. There's a hell of a lot of people at the weigh-in. The Emperor's Palace Golden Glove Supersport has got this partnership going, but as a business concept is very successful. They make money, and they need to have a concept like that because they don't get sponsorships from the government. There's nothing like that. You can't expect a promoter to just keep paying out of his own pocket. It has to be a concept that makes money. And this box and dine concept combined with a casino is that classical casino boxing partnership. Whether you're a fan of box and dine format or not, I prefer not to eat while I'm watching fights. But it's irrelevant because they don't make my money off people like me or out of hardcore boxing fans. Emperor's Palace, the show here, the card here, is a completely different concept than what you would find at the East London ICC or Orient Theatre. The only hardcore boxing fans sitting there are some people in the press row, like me. I'm a hardcore boxing fan too, but that doesn't pay the bills. And maybe the friends and the family and the camps of the fighters themselves. But your general person who sits here is the general sports guy. He doesn't know much about boxing. He watches a bit of rugby, he watches a bit of cricket. He's out for evening and he's taking his wife out, or vice versa, or a group of friends. I talk to people a lot when I'm at the boxing. The general guy sitting there, they're not boxing experts. It's not the kind of guy that sits at the Orient Theatre who really knows his stuff. It's a different kind of crowd. It's a general sporting crowd. They don't really care. They just want to watch two big guys smashing each other and they want to see a knockout and have a good evening. And that works for Golden Gloves, Emperor's Palace, Super Sport, this kind of format. So it's a format that, given the exchange rate, no longer lends itself to having four major sanctioning bodies world title fights until the exchange rate changes. It's a format that makes it difficult or impossible to get name heavyweights out of here, because a heavyweight, even somebody like Vach, asks for a lot more money than a flyweight world champion. And converted to rands, it becomes expensive, and then to make the show profitable becomes the problem. So it's a concept that works. They make money of it. To pay even a guy like Wach is expensive, and you can't pay Kevin Lerena less when you're going to pay Wach. So it's a couple of million to put on this card. Now, in the future, I think Kevin Lerena, he's 31, it's young for heavyweight. I think he's going to keep fighting here at Emperor's Palace at least for another year. I think the quality of opponent will maybe incrementally improve from Wach, but I don't expect anybody in the top 10 or 15 coming out yet. Maybe in a sanctioning body, because we know sanctioning body rankings, but I'm talking ring or transnational boxing rankings boards. So I, as a fan, would love to see Kevin fight a Michael Hunter, a Derek Chisora maybe would be a good fight. Somebody like that, so that we can see how does he handle how's he going to handle the really big boys, the big names in the heavyweight division. Even a Carlos Takam, who Makhmudov, who was Vach's last opponent, is fighting today. But I think they've got a business concept here that works. I think it's sold out. It will keep selling out because it caters to a certain market that I've described. So I think we're going to have another year of these sort of opponents, maybe slightly better opponents, and then we'll see. There's an announcement coming this week, I think. I'm not sure what it is. There's this talk about a consortium and getting money from somewhere. So we'll see what it is. And in boxing, I've learned that although some things are very, very unlikely, they are still possible. Everything is possible. I would like to see Kevin Lerena in there with big heavyweights, because I think he's got the speed of hand, the speed of foot. Can he take those shots? We don't know. He has got a good chin, but I don't know if he's got a good heavyweight chin. But there's nobody in the heavyweight division besides Alexander Usyk who's really got a combination of faster feet and hands than Kevin's got. And he's a southpaw to boot. So it makes it interesting. But I think we're going to see these type of fights. I think he's going to win them in style. And who knows? You know, we've had people like Eric Molina landing 2 world title shots. We had people like Razvan Kohanu, Hughie Fury backing themselves into title shots without fighting any major names. So you never know what may be possible. But those are my thoughts. If it frustrates you, then I would suggest buy a plane ticket and fly down to the Eastern Cape and come and join us and watch a show at the Orient Theatre then. But as I say, Golden Gloves has got this formula that works for them. And in so doing, there's a lot of fights happening. The sponsors like to work with them because on the operational level, just getting the show on, getting everybody paid, making everything run smoothly and happen in time, no cancelled tournaments. There's nobody in South Africa that on an operational level, I'm not talking taking fighters to world titles or whatever, but just on a plain operational level of getting things done and making them run smoothly, there's nobody that compares with Golden Gloves in that category. So that is what it is. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments. Please do comment in the comment section. If you like the content, please hit the like and smash the subscribe. Until I see you guys again, remember to keep those hands up.